Hello, my name is Michael Hung. I'm currently 19 years old and I attend the University of Texas at Austin. This is my entry for the Flutatious Digital Content Competition. Hope you enjoy.
Hey, how's it going? Nice to finally meet you after we had that online class together for a whole year.
Yeah, nice to see you too. I know, right? It's been a whole year of being in the same virtual room, but we barely know each other. Honestly, it's so great to be finally back to meeting other people. I'm just glad I passed the class. Online learning was not it, especially since it correlated so much with my biology major. Oh, by the way, what was your major? I'm a music major. Wait, what? We have a music school here? I didn't even know it existed. I have literally no background in music at all. So do you play an instrument or something? Yeah, I play the flute and I consider myself a flutist. A flutist? What's a flutist? Wait, what was that? Oh yeah, that's just the title card of my video. A flutist is more than someone who plays a silver pipe. I mean, anyone can do that. But being a flutist encompasses a lot of qualities and roles. So I think the easiest way to tell you would just be to show you. Like all things, we start out learning from our teachers and practicing. So every beginner needs to build a good foundation on the flute. Long tones and scales are pretty much the vegetables of the flute. So they might seem boring and tedious, but they pay off in the end. We really have to be detail-oriented in our practice and our performance. And when it comes to competitions and auditions, we have to create a final piece that's near artistic perfection. In some ways, we're athletes too. We have to build endurance over time in order to execute a final performance. Also, as athletes, we have to be mindful about our movements and be aware of what our body is telling us so we don't get injured. Also, kind of bouncing off the athlete idea, we do a lot of crazy physical movements and exercises, and shout out to my professor for teaching me all of those odd but useful exercises. Also, we're avid listeners in practice and in leisure. We listen to classical music all the time. So what kind of music do you play as a flutist? Although the flute has been around for thousands of years, the repertoire we play today starts around the 1700s in the Baroque period. In Baroque music, the flutist finds virtuosity in the simplest of melodies. Later in the 1700s, Mozart wrote his famous Concerto for Flute, which is pretty much a standard repertoire piece. This shows off the flute's style and ornamentation while adhering to the classic details of the music. Oh my gosh, the amount of times I've practiced the exposition of the Mozart. The French also contributed to the flute repertoire through the Paris Conservatory competition pieces. The French school of thought for flute was to pretty much show off every aspect of the flute in one piece, from the virtuosity to the lyricism and to the grandiosity of flute playing. '20th century composers really diversified the flute repertoire with several dazzling concertos and sonatas. That brings us to contemporary music, which can seem odd or plain crazy at times, but this type of music really challenges the definition of music and stretches the abilities of the flute through unconventional melodies and extended techniques. So do you only just play solo work, or don't flutes like play in an orchestra or something? Yeah, exactly. That's another reason why I love the flute. I love being able to have my time in the spotlight, but flutists also serve a role in the orchestra. Also, for some reason, the flute represents a lot of birds in the orchestral repertoire. I mean, I guess it's something about the flute being super chirpy. As flutists, we're also piccoloists, and while the instrument is similar to the flute, piccolo players will be either asleep during the slow movements or have to perform death-defying passages in a moment's notice. And we can't forget about the patriotic piece that we play once a year that everyone recognizes the piccolo from. We do live in the 21st century, so we can't forget our favorite pop song covers on the flute. You kind of get the idea of it, right? Yeah, I totally get it now. I sort of wish my parents forced me to play an instrument when I was little or something. Thanks for showing me. Of course, as flutists, we are learners, teachers, practicers, performers, athletes, artists, and the list goes on. We all show our flair, expressivity, and emotions all through our music. While imperfect, we are passionate, creative, and genuine humans, but we just happen to play the flute.